I'm 99% sure about that eBay internal tool that automatically blocks your visibility and ability to sell. I also know what causes it. Additionally, we had an unplanned test that gave us kind of funny results. But the problem is that I don't know what to do next. I have no clue anymore, guys. Literally last week I just gave up. Hello and welcome to the channel. I'm Polish Pete, eBay reseller based in UK. I buy cheap ladies clothing in bulk and I sell them individually on eBay for profit. I'm also an unpaid carer for an elderly and disabled person who lives abroad. Today I would like to talk about several things. Now, one of them comes out of another, they are interconnected, so please pay attention as it may be hard to understand the later part of the video when you miss the important thing at the beginning. So I will talk about that eBay internal algorithm that I'm 99% sure that exists. More about this in this video over here, the video that I made before my channel was hacked. I will talk about what triggers that internal blockade, and I'll show you the results of accidental tests that I have done on my account. And yeah, they were kind of funny, kind of interesting, kind of making no difference anyway, but yeah, I'll show them to you anyway. So first of all, I'm 99% sure that there is an internal algorithm on eBay that blocks your visibility and ability to sell your items. It is triggered automatically, and although nobody in eBay will straightforward confirm its existence, they are able to kind of lift the penalty, manually lift the penalty when you contact them. Once lifted, it can be imposed again after some time, I would say a week or so. But you know, when the circumstances are not changing, it will be automatically imposed on you again. So what causes that blockade? Bad quality of your listings, basically, or my listings, I should say. Again, I'm 99% that this is what it is. I'm not talking about the quality of items or I'm not talking about quality of the listing itself. I would like to call it clickability of your listing. So as soon as you list your item, whether it's new item or it's end and sell similar item, eBay initially gives it a push, gives it a boost in visibility, because basically algorithm starts to push this item as it doesn't know if that's a good item or bad item, if there is a chance to sell it or there is no chance to sell it. Obviously, it can suspect if this is a bad item, if that item has been ended and sold similar. And in my opinion, when it has that suspicion, the boost is way much short-lasting, way much more short-lasting, way much shorter that boost is. In general, after last changes in the algorithm last year, the boost is short anyway. Previously, it was about 14 days, anywhere from 7 to 30, 28, something like that, but usually about 14. Now, I'm 99% sure is that this boost lasts for 48 hours, and that's it. Basically, eBay gives your listing a benefit of the doubt. Okay, we've got new item here, let's try to sell it. Let's try to give it some impressions we will see how it performs, and we will go from there. Yeah, whether we're gonna discard it or we're gonna push it even more. Now, how many impressions will it give you? I don't know. I believe it varies from listing to listing and from account to account. And I bet it depends on what kind of item it is. Yeah, how often this kind of items are searched, and what is the saturation of the market. If there is a lot of searches but there is a lot of items, then it will give you less impressions. If there is a lot of searches but not enough items, then it will give you more impressions. You know what I mean. You know what I mean. So for me, for my items on my account on eBay UK, eBay gives me about 300 impressions per item in that first 48 hours. It assesses the result, and if there are sales, if it's a multi-item listings and there are sales, it keeps pushing it. Or if it's a single item listing, if it's sold, it's sold. But if there are some watchers, it keeps pushing it. Or at least if there is some sort of a decent amount of views on that listing, decent number of people have actually clicked and checked that listing, it carries on pushing it. If there is nothing, no watchers, 0 views, or single views like 1 view, 2 views, 3 views, this listing goes down the drain after 48 hours. And you can be sure that after the next 10, 14 days, it will still have only few views. And the number of impressions will grow very, very slowly. eBay will still show it to the buyers. eBay will still try to sell it, but it's gonna be the effort of eBay trying to sell it will be way, way, way much lower. Yeah, and at this point, in my opinion, selling this listing is pure luck, pure coincidence. Actually, that listing being shown to the buyer that actually was looking for it. Yeah. If the listing within those 48 hours, first 48 hours, again, I'm talking about my account and my listings, if it can get 5 to 6 views within those 48 hours, first 48 hours, then number of impressions suddenly goes into thousands, 2,000, 3,000, 5,000, 10,000 impressions, because eBay is pushing that listing, because algorithm believes, yes, this listing have a chance to sell because there is actually some interest in it. Actually, some people are clicking into it. And same applies when I get a watcher, a quick watcher on the listing. That listing gets pushed. That listing gets pushed. Now, how many views is good enough? Again, it depends what kind of listing it is and on what kind of account, on what kind of market. On my account, I've got like 0.3% click-through ratio. So in theory, I should get 3 clicks out of the 1,000 impressions. And this is what I can see. All those listings below like 3 views. So I push new listing out, and within 48 hours, it gets 300 impressions, 400, 500 impressions when I'm lucky. Yeah. But if it doesn't get those 3 views, it goes down the drain. It goes down the drain. Now, if I have enough of listings like that, bad listings that went down the drain, that internal blockade is kicking in. How many is enough? Again, hard to say, probably varies account to account, item to item. Out of what I can see on my account, if I have half of my listings, and half of my listings in general have 0 to 5 views in last 30 days, I end them and sell similar them every 30 days. So they are there only for 30 days. So always, whether they are 7 days or 10 days or 20 days, it's always that last 30 days since then. So it's always from the start to the point where we are now. So if within that period, half of my listings have 0 to 5 views, I'm 100% sure that that blockade has been imposed. 100%. If half of my listings is cold or bad. I've got a suspicion that this number is lower. I've got a suspicion that this number is at about 30%. So not half of my listings is that, but 30%, only 30% of my listings is that blockade kicks in. So if I have 30% cold listings, entire account goes down the drain. Entire account goes down the drain. Now, this is why the guys who do nuclear reset every day, they can get away with murder, because they are ending and selling similar their listings before they lose that initial boost. Yeah, before they lose that initial boost, so they never lose that initial boost. Also, all the guys who sell like a slow moving items like collectibles, they may suffer because there is not enough relevant searches. There is not enough people looking for that exact item, this particular item. So eBay tries to give them those impressions to determine if the listing is good or not, and those impressions are given in irrelevant searches, just for eBay to get enough impressions to determine if the listing is good or bad. And they are ending up in irrelevant searches, some down below, some down on the page, and then eBay determines that this listing is cold because it gave it 1,000 impressions and it's not doing anything, or 500 impressions and it's not doing anything. There is no watchers, there is no clicks, there is nothing, and the listing goes cold. And that's the problem. I mean, serious problem for those guys who are selling kind of slow moving items. Because before the changes last year, it was 14 days. So within those 14 days, it was way much easier to actually get that relevant impressions in relevant searches. Now it has to be done quickly, so you get those irrelevant impressions, empty impressions in irrelevant searches. And this is why it is so hard to sell those slow moving items nowadays. Now let's take a look at the graph of my sales for last 31 days. I hope it's, when you are watching on the phone, it may be actually too small, but I haven't got another idea on how to do it. Some few interesting things here on this graph. Can you see that red arrow, guys? This is the point when I have contacted eBay for the third time. And this is when I believe my blockade has been lifted manually. Yeah? That was 2 p.m. And actually on that day at 2 p.m. when I finished to talk to them, I had 0 sales. Then straight after I finished, 1 sale right out of the bat. And then 2 sales a bit later. Yeah? Then on the next day, from this green arrow, on the next day, I have changed that payment policy from eBay payments only to eBay payments plus cash on collection, like I was telling you about it in that video that I've put the card on. Yeah. So I've changed that policy and boom, sales have doubled. Yeah? You can see it on the graph. Then I've changed that policy again, back to eBay payments only. Boom, sales halved. Then I was alternating that policy, and as you can see, doubled, halved, doubled, halved, doubled, halved, doubled, halved. So I hope it can be seen clearly. What I call it is a comp, yeah, because it looks like a comp to me, yeah. But generally, if you look at those sales, they were going up actually. They were actually going up. Those peaks were higher than previous peaks. Those downs were higher than previous downs, if that makes sense. It was a comp, but comp was going up slowly, but it can be seen on the graph. Yeah. Now, can you see that green arrow? Yeah, green arrow. At this point, where that green arrow is, I have changed my payments to eBay payments only. And I had a slow day, as expected. Then on the next day, I have changed it to plus cash on collection. Then I have waited for an hour or an hour and a half and changed it back to eBay payments only. I ended up with even worse than a slow day. Now, you may say, Pete, you have to have that cash plus cash on collection, you have to have it switched on all the time, every day, all the time. No, it's not about what you have and what you have not. It's about improving your listings or making them bad or worse. 100%, 100%, I'm 100% sure that this is what it is. It's not a simple explanation. You have to have this one switched on, this one switched off. No, it's about improving your listings. If you improve your listings, eBay gives them a boost. It thinks, okay, we couldn't sell this item, but this guy has improved the listing, so let's try again. 100%, that's what it is. In the middle of the week, on Wednesday, I've changed my dispatch day. I've changed my dispatch time down to 1 day. Only on about 30 listings. Next day was Thursday, so my dispatch day. So I was sure I'm going to dispatch them within 1 day anyway. But I only did it on 30 listings. What has happened on that Wednesday? All my sales except one, were on the items that I have changed to 1 day, to 1 day dispatch. So everything except one item that have sold were the items that I have changed. And I only have changed 30 items out of 1,500. Yeah? Now, if you look on this graph, like on the end of it, where the sales are relatively flat, but low, I had that plus cash on collection turned on for entire time over there, but I was not alternating it. And this is what makes me thinking. It's not about what you've got turned on, what you've got turned off. It's about improving your listings. Make an improvement, eBay will give that listing a boost. Improve all your listings will get a boost. Now, let's talk about that slow improvement of sales during that comp period. Yeah? Generally, it was there, that sales improvement was there, because I was ending my items without selling similar them. I mean, I was cooling bad listings, and generally my ratio of good to bad was improving. And this is why I was getting more sales out of less listings that I had live at every single day. I went down from 1500 to 1100 with the numbers of live listings. And most of the ones that I have ended were bad. And I could see that because I have seen the number of views for last 30 days. And those numbers were very low, like below 5. So I knew this listing is shit because it attracted only 5 people within last 30 days. Or less, some of them were 0. Now, this spike day on the blue arrow, on the graph, blue arrow spike day. This is the day when I have put 550 buy it nows live, literally faking a reset of a third of my shop. Yeah, as expected, sales have improved right away dramatically, proving that reset is effective. On the next day, I had even bigger spike because I had 240 auctions ending on that day, which proves that auctions are still effective. Now on the next day, it all went down the drain because I had no auctions live. I didn't have any. I mean, 240 have ended and I didn't put any new auctions live, right? And all those 550 buy it nows, they have 48 hours have passed, they have lost the boost. Or at least all those listings without the traction have lost the boost. Yeah? And what has happened? My ratio of good to bad listings have changed, has hit the floor. There was a lot of sudden spike of bad listings after 48 hours that eBay gave them to try them. Yeah? And blockade has been applied. 100%, maybe not 100, 99% sure the blockade has been applied. Yeah, as simple as your morning prayer. Yeah, maybe if I had auctions, 150 auctions, new auctions, maybe I could avoid that blockade. Maybe if I didn't list 550 buy it nows on that Friday, maybe if I had listed 300, maybe I could avoid that blockade. Because, because that ratio good to bad wouldn't be that dramatically worse. And as you can see on the graph, after that point, sales are low, but they are flat. No comp effect, as I have stopped to change that payment method, leaving plus cash on collection on. I'm not improving my listings and nothing is happening. I've got what I should have, eBay payment plus cash on collection, but I'm not improving, so nothing happens. I've got my sales, but on a low level. So what's next? I don't know. I've got no clue. I have no idea. Whole week last week, I had a really bad toothache. I couldn't use my brain. I couldn't concentrate. I couldn't focus. I couldn't think. I'm recording this video only thanks to painkillers, but I don't like to take painkillers. I normally don't take painkillers. I'm against painkillers. I just feel the pain, basically. But I just take those painkillers for the night in the evening so I can get kind of a bit of rest. But I've got the dentist appointment on Tuesday or Wednesday, either of two. I can't remember. So hopefully I will be able to think straight after that and I will figure out something. I'm going private, so because I've got no health insurance in this country, so it's going to cost me an arm and a leg, but yeah, that's the way it is. I digress. What to do with eBay? Like I've said, I don't know. I have given up. I think I will let it run just as it is for some time, kind of observing what is going on. I need to change something, but I don't know what. I'm in the point where I'm changing too often. I'm changing shit too often, and I can't figure it out what works, what doesn't work. I have to slow myself down. I have to accept the period of low sales, and I have to figure out what works at the moment. Yeah, what I have to figure out some sort of the strategy that will allow me to keep that good to bad listing ratio in the position where that blockade does not kick in. How? I've got no clue. I've got no clue. Maybe I should flood it with freshly listed stock, stock that I have photographed last time I was in UK. Maybe I should just take the old stock down, put that new stock in, and go from there. Maybe that will help. It is some sort of idea. It's a bad idea, not a good idea at all. I don't really like it because it's like listing like a lunatic, basically idea. I don't care about old stock. I'm pushing new stock just to get some sales. And I don't like it, but it is at least some sort of idea. I also have another idea. So on Monday, when my sales are shit anyway, maybe I should crash my listings down to the bottom. I mean, change everything to the worst that it can be. Like eBay payments only, like 30 days returns, no promoted listings, 3 days dispatch, and all the other stuff. Make your listings as worse as they can be. Then on Tuesday, just push a number of items, say, let's say 250, 200, 300 items. Push them live. Yeah? Then get that boost, that initial boost from those new listings going live. Right for the 2 days, and when that initial boost goes down, start to improve listings every day, but by adding something every day. So change the returns from 30 to 60, then change that payment from eBay payment only to eBay payment plus cash on collection, then add promoted listings, then on Friday change from 3 days dispatch to 1 day dispatch. Maybe that would be the way to go. Maybe that improvement, everyday improvement of my listings would give them a boost. It's a stupid theory because we shouldn't, I think, do that. We shouldn't know what works, what doesn't, and we should do what works, make our listings the best we can, put them on, and that's it. We shouldn't flip and change shit every day. But maybe that's the only way to go nowadays. Yeah, thank you very much for watching. I hope you found this video interesting. If you have, please don't forget to click that like button. Also, if you wish to support the channel further, please consider subscribing if you haven't done so yet. Have a great week. Like I said, thank you very much for watching again. I'll see you next time. God bless you all. Bye-bye.